The Derby della Capitale. Everything goes out the window. Form, rhyme, reason, refereeing at times. And there's moments throughout the history, Amarcord, that we have beautiful memories. And I think when you mentioned the Capitale, I just think of Totti playing against Di Canio and those heated rivalries, right? And in a way, the fan inside me wants to see those get back. Guys, I am Wayne Gerard. Thank you for tuning in. Whether this is your first time or you've been with me for quite a while now, we're going to be breaking down Lazio Roma, going over some probable formations, what these teams have been doing recently in the past about 5 to 10 games, and just how crazy this match might get. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thanks. So I would say it's everything to lose for Lazio. They were the big winners last time versus Roma Lazio in the first leg of this derby, winning 3-0. Felipe Anderson scored twice. He'll be starting again. Lazio now have the comfort of not playing in European competition after crashing out against AZ. Meanwhile, Roma progress, and they're doing their job. They beat Real Sociedad comfortably. I would say suffered a little bit, but Roma always, with Mourinho, find ways to win in European competition. One thing that we've seen, which shows the character of this side, which shows how they can suffer and then pull out results. And I think that could be the theme going into this game. And if Roma are to win, could it be that type of style? I very much think that it will be. It will be a Roma that hunkers down, perhaps in the same way against Juventus, plays smart, pragmatic football, gets a goal, maybe two, and then resists the pressure. That's the way that Maurizio Sarri would like to play. He has build up in his DNA the way that he likes to play football. Meanwhile, we know that Mourinho can always outfox his opponent on the given day. Now, Lazio are in some scary form, though. In their last 10, they've got 6 clean sheets, including shutouts in each of their last 4 Serie A fixtures. They beat Napoli in that time. Last match, yes, they did draw against Bologna. But one thing that shows is that this Lazio is 1, talented, 2, can win without Ciro Immobile, and 3, is highly unpredictable. You could say also the same thing for Roma at times. I know a lot of people want to jump back to that loss against Cremonese, but what about that win against Juventus? And then that loss against Sassuolo. Okay, but what about getting on the horse and proving it against Sociedad over 2 rounds, a talented team, and honestly just outclassing them and showing that Roma, at this point, we can say does have some sort of pedigree with European football being one of the most accomplished teams from Italy in the European competitions, whether it's Conference, Europa, or even the Champions League if we run back to that glorious win against Barcelona, where Roma eventually should have gone on to play in the Champions League final, but I don't want to get off on a tangent about that Liverpool game. I'm already getting bad flashbacks. But let's look at these probable lineups right now before we get into more of the statistics side. Lazio have Ivan Provedel, one of the best keepers in the league. Then they'll be running with 4 in the back, Marusic, Casale, decent center back alongside with Romagnoli, who we know very well, and Hysaj on the left. In midfield, it's looking like SMS, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, one of the best center midfielders in the league, with Cataldi and Luis Alberto. Up top, Pedro, Felipe Anderson, and Zaccagni. Zaccagni, one of the best Italian wingers right now. Statistically, he's grown year after year. I think that was a shrewd purchase by Lazio to bring him in, as well as Felipe Anderson, who is the, I think, joint highest Brazilian scorer in the Derby della Capitale. On top of that, we also know Pedro. Unfortunately, he scored in this derby before. However, it was for the wrong team. I think that Cataldi is also one of these utility guys. He goes in and does his job. But one thing that Lazio also do have is chemistry. These guys have been with each other for quite a while now, and they've been able to stay together. I don't know why so many players like staying at Lazio. I think it has more to do with the city rather than the ambitions of the club. No shade on Lazio, but they often don't show like a long-term plan. Roma's possible starting lineup: Rui Patricio, Mancini, Smalling, Ibanez, right to left. Smalling as the center back, as the leader in that back 3. And then Zalewski replaces Rick Karsdorp, who goes out with a broken nose. And then we've got Cristante and Matic, who have picked it up so much in the last month and a half. And Spinazzola on the left, who has been, a breath of fresh air with his dribbling. He looks like he hasn't missed a single match, and I'm glad to see him back very much so. Pellegrini gets back after his concussion. Hopefully he'll be wearing that headband. And Dybala will also be starting for sure with Tammy Abraham. Belotti still hasn't scored a single goal in this Serie A campaign, so Abraham will, in my opinion, definitely be getting the start. So Dybala's stats: 9 goals and 6 assists so far in the league, including last week. He scored that worldie that should have helped Roma climb back, but it just wasn't enough with the man down. I thought it was a heroic display by Dybala, or how do you say, like a tragic hero, one that tries everything they have in the face of adversity. and Roma end up losing, but hopefully they use that energy and that anger as motivation going into this. Now, one thing that they have to do, if we think back to mistakes which often decide these derbies, is keep their heads cool, stay calm, stay professional, show that character that when it comes time to be stressed and, you know, when it rains, it pours, that you can handle things, that if you go down a goal or 2 goals, whatever it might be, or if you go up a goal or 2, that you know how to handle the game and show maturity throughout all of that. Pedro should be wearing a mask to protect his broken nose. A lot of injuries going on. This definitely has to do with the European play. Like I said, Immobile will be out. I think he has a thigh injury, and he might get some spare minutes if Lazio are down, but it's most likely that he's not going to be starting this one at all. So the last Roma win was way back in 2016. This would be a great chance to turn the tide with that. Kumbula won't be there because of that red card. So recent Serie A form for Roma, we've got that loss and then a win, a loss, a win, a draw, and then a win. Speaking about consistency here in Serie A. Lazio's Serie A form, a draw, win, a loss, and a draw. So that's their last 6. So you don't know what you're going to get out of this derby and who will be the hero. You never know who that hero is going to be. Is it going to be Mapu, Yanga, and Biwa? Is it going to be Balzaretti? You never know. So that's, I think, one thing that can really define a story for a player when they wear red and yellow or white and blue, right? Do they become the hero or do they become the villain? Do they rise to the occasion and become a hero for the next remainder of the season? This game means so much for the people of Rome. You know that. You know that also there's been a lot going on with the Ultras, so I wouldn't doubt that you could see some stuff going on in the stands and outside the stadium leading into this one. Let me know what you think, guys. I think that the biggest battle definitely is going to be on midfield and on the outside. I think that the strikers, yes, they're going to be influential. Abraham, Felipe Anderson, but I very much think that this game can be decided in midfield. Will it be Cataldi and Milinkovic-Savic who get the better of Cristante and Matic, or will Matic's pedigree and his vintage class show through? Will Cristante be that anchor who initiates and takes possession and starts up the counter for Roma? This, I can't wait. I'm going to be at Roma Club New York. I hope you will be too if you're in the tri-state area. If not, I'm going to be planning on doing some live stuff with fans and getting opinions and comments and thoughts throughout this one. Drop a like. Let me know what you think. Comments, all that stuff. We'll talk post-match right after the match, okay? Right after the derby, we'll be going live. See you then.